Military Ball. On behalf of the Tombstone High School JROTC, I want to express my appreciation to those who are taking time out of their busy schedules to be here in support of this school. I would now like to acknowledge our distinguished guests. Please hold your applause until the end. Mr. David Thursby, Principal of Tombstone High School. Lieutenant Colonel Ronaldo Minago and Colonel Daniel Magic.
We call your attention to the small table which occupies a place of dignity and honor near the head table. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our proud military are missing from our midst. They are commonly called POWs and MIAs, or prisoners of war and those missing in action. We call them comrades. They are the loved ones who are unable to be with us this evening. So we join together to pay our humble tribute to them and bear witness to their continued absence. The table is round to show our everlasting concern for our comrades still missing. The tablecloth is white, which symbolizes the purity to their response to their country's call of duty. The table is set for one, to represent our comrades from each of the military services. A single rose is displayed in the vase, reminds us of all the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep the faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon tied so prominently secured on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbons worn upon the lapels of thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper accounting for our comrades who are not among us tonight. A slice of lemon is placed on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. A pinch of salt is also on the plate, symbolic of the countless volunteers of families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us tonight. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts. The candle is lit in memory of those who have not returned, a light to guide them home. The chair is tipped down because there is an unknown face representing no one individual, but all the missing from all the wars. It symbolizes the isolation and lack of human contact that our countrymen must endure, lest we forget. Their chair is empty. They are not here with us tonight. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifices, and may God forever watch over them and their families.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the toast. Gentlemen, please charge your glasses at your table. Please rise for the toast. Please follow along according to the toasts in your program. To the United States of America.
To the United States.
To the President of the United States.
To the President.
To the United States Army.
To the Army.
To the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps.
To the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps.
To Tombstone High School.
To Tombstone High School.
To the honored guests.
To the honored guests.
To the cadets and their guests.
To the cadets and their guests.
At this time, gentlemen, please seat the ladies at your table.
To the ladies.
To the ladies.
By tradition, please be seated.
By tradition, the highest ranking cadet and the youngest cadet will share the cutting of the cake. At this time, Cadet Private McCoy and Cadet Major Tucker come forward. Cadet Private Skylar McCoy and Cadet Major Christina Tucker, you may now cut the cake. Dinner will now be served. Please go to the buffet line when the DJ calls your table. Starting with the head table, sorry.
All right, the next table number one. Where's table number one at? All right, you're up next for dinner.
We need to take a selfie.
All right, let's go ahead and get table number two up there as well too. Let's get table number two, and then we're gonna randomly here.
I start out with 1 and 2. They were calling times. My table was like, they went 1, and they jumped in a couple numbers. I think I'm sitting the same.
These are one of those vile things on the planet. I'll put it back on my plate.
All right, next table number 13. Where you at? All right.
That's for you.
All right, table number 4. You're up next. Table 4. All right, table number 7. Table 7. All right, table number 11. Table 11.
Oh, yeah.
All right, table number 3, if you're ready, go ahead and get up there. Table number 3.
It's not. It's too bad she probably couldn't get like that. Even though I heard that, I started. They said, I'll get you.
All right, how about table number 9? Table number 9, you're up next.
Everybody heard she was cold.
All right, how about table number 12? You're up next. Table 12. All right, we're going to pick table 5 and table 10 at the same time. 5 and 10. All right, last two tables, 6 and 8. Make your way up there, 6 and 8.
Yeah, all the tables. Just the very last few people.
How's your mom like the new job? Does she really?
Yeah, she loves like one of her clients had like ultimate and she loves her.
Is she like one-on-one with somebody? Or is she just different clients?
She has like 4 or 5 different clients that she goes to on each day.
Wow. Tries all over the town? Or?
She's going to Syracuse.
Well, I'm glad she found something big up around.
She's really
I wish she came back into school, but
she's gonna get
yeah, there's some truth in that. Absolute truth in that.
She loves it, but she's really sad and most of them are really old and sick. So it makes her sad to see them and they come to travel there. She loves that.
Are some of them on hospice care?
I don't know. I know some of them have their kids taken care
All
of.
right, quick announcement. If you're still hungry and you still want some extra, there's extra there. So it's, if you can go for seconds if you want this for seconds. So help yourself. Just make sure you get a clean plate from there. Just get the plate where you have now, and get new fresh plates. They have plenty of seconds, so if you want to go ahead and help yourself.
I thought he said something about like dropping it.
Go ahead. That's my sour. That's what you put on the bag. Oh, I know this. Want the rest of them? You want the potatoes? Yeah. Why do they still have brunches?
Lieutenant Colonel Minago is the Assistant Chief of Staff, Reserve Forces Office for the U.S. Army Intelligence Center of Excellence. He was commissioned in 1987 as a second lieutenant in the infantry, initially serving as a platoon leader and company executive officer with the 1st Cavalry Division in Fort Hood, Texas, and Southwest Asia during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. After graduating in the Infantry Officer Advanced Course at Fort Benning, Georgia, Lieutenant Colonel Minago pursued a civilian career working in operations, process improvement, product development, and marketing. He initially returned to serve from 2003 to 2005 and was assigned to the Joint Readiness Training Center, Fort Polk, Louisiana, as an opposing force cell leader. In 2010, Lieutenant Colonel Minago was assigned to 3D Special Forces Group Airborne as the HCC Commander, Base Defense Operations Center Commander, Combined Joint Special Operations Task Force, Afghanistan. After his time in Afghanistan, he returned to the U.S. Army Reserve full-time with his staff assignments in training, retention, and in the Military Intelligence Readiness Command, where he commanded his 826th Military Intelligence Battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Minago has deployed and commanded units in combat in support of Operations Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and Enduring Freedom. His awards and decorations include the Bronze Star Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, the Army Commendation Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters, the Army Achievement Medal with 5 oak leaf clusters, the Combat Infantryman Badge, the 2nd award, an Expert Infantryman's Badge, and the Parachutist Badge. He is a graduate of University of Massachusetts, Lowell, and Northeastern University. He and his wife, Jenny, of 25 years, have 2 children, Annabelle of Charlotte, North Carolina, and Max, a junior at the University of Alabama. You may continue eating, but please be respectful while he speaks. Now he is here to speak with us today. Please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Minago.
Please enjoy your meal. I'll keep it as brief as possible. Thank you. Appreciate that introduction. Colonel Magic. Massa. Yes. Family and members of the Tombstone Junior ROTC program. Welcome. My wife Jenny and I are honored to share this very special evening with you all, the future of our great nation. We are grateful for this opportunity to participate in this ceremony. It's a time-honored tradition that builds unit cohesion and morale dating back to the founding of our nation. I'd like to take a few moments this evening just to share some thoughts and hopefully provide some pearls of wisdom you can use as you make your way through life. Imagine, if you will, a traveler about to enter a new country. They will listen with attention to the traveler who is just returning from it. Or imagine a young warrior buckling on his armor for the first time. They understand that they may be benefited by the experience of the old warrior who is taking his armor off. I say this to you this evening because I've climbed and continue to climb the hill of life. I hope that my experiences on this journey may help you, those that are just venturing the first incline on the hill of life, to know what I would do if I had to do it over from where you are sitting today. I've had the same kind of foolishness, fears, and passions each of you have had. I have failed on some occasions, and sometimes bitterly, but I always got back up. I have loved and hated, lost and won, done some good deeds and some not so good deeds. I've had some measure of success, and I have made about every kind of mistake there is to make. In other words, I have lived a full, active, human life. And yet here I stand no less for wear. As you go through life, you're going to accumulate two kinds of spiritual supplies, or baggage. One, the negative supply, a pile of doubts, questionings, and mysteries, and the other, a much smaller pile of positive conclusions. There is great temptation to amplify the negative experiences, for negative and critical statements have a seductive appearance of depth and much more of a too cool for school flavor of wisdom than the positive declarations. Please resist this very real temptation to focus on the negative. For the sake of orderly thought, I was going to provide you with 10 points of consideration this evening. However, under the guidance of the wisest of counselors I have, my wife Jenny, I've cut them back 60% to just the top 4. Okay, number 1. If I were your age, what I would do the next thing. The first duty of any human being in this world is to contribute to society and not be a burden. To take him or herself off other people's backs. I would go to work at something for which others would be willing to pay. I would not wait for an ideal job. The only ideal job I ever heard of was the one some other person had. It is quite important to find the best thing to do. It is much more important to find something to do. So if I were a young artist, and the artists here would fancy themselves to be an artist, rather than painting something that may or may not have someone's interest, find a local business and paint an advertisement. If you're a young musician, rather play in the school band and not at all. If you're a young writer, write for the high school newsletter or local paper, if necessary. And then when the time comes, maybe you'll be the author of a great American novel. Bottom line, go to work. Nothing in all this world I have found is so good as work. Number 2, if I were your age, I would take care of my body. The comfort and efficiency of your days depend fundamentally upon the condition of this physical machine you are housed in. I would look out for it as carefully as I attend to your car you drive, your phone or computer, so that it might perform its functions smoothly and with minimum trouble. To this end, I would note there are 2 S's. They are exercise and excess. Exercise, well, if I was sitting where you are, take up some daily system of exercise that would bring into play all the voluntary muscles of the body. I would devote a half an hour to an hour to this purpose daily. Excess, well, I would take no stimulant of any kind whatsoever. Whatever whips the body up to excess destroys the efficiency of the organism. Hence, I would not touch any stimulant, no tobacco, vaping, alcohol, or drugs of any kind. If one never begins with these, one can find much more physical pleasure than power without it. Number 3, only 2 more to go. If I were your age, I would train my mind. realized that my eventual success depends mostly upon the quality and power of my brain. Therefore, I would train it so as to get the best out of it. Most of the failures I've seen, especially in professional life, have been due to mental laziness. I've been a soldier for years and found out that the greatest curse of the military profession was mental laziness. It is probably the same among business people, lawyers, and physicians. It certainly is so among actors and writers. Hence, I would let no day pass without a set period of hard, keen mental exertion, so that my mind would always be ready as a steel spring, or like a well-oiled machine, ready, resilient, powerful. And in this matter, I would recognize that repetition is better than effort. Mastery, perfection, the doing of difficult things with ease and precision depend more upon doing things over and over than upon putting forth great effort. I would especially purge myself as far as possible of intellectual dishonesty. By intellectual dishonesty, I mean what is called expediency. That is, forming or adhering to an opinion. Not because we are convinced that it's true, but because of the effect it will have. A mind should, at your age, latch onto the truth like a dog latches onto a handball. And number 4, if I were your age, I would make some permanent, harmonious arrangement with my conscience. There are huge facts to which no life can escape: God, duty, death, and moral responsibility. They sit fixed and eternal along the road of every person's existence. You must frame some sort of answer to them, and only you can do that. I'm familiar to some extent with most of the religions, cults, and creeds of mankind, having traveled all over the world. There are certain points common to every decent religion. For in every kind of church you are taught to be honest, pure-minded, unselfish, reverent, brave, loyal, and the like. These elements of religion may be called the great common denominator of all faiths. Now, this matter can be reduced to yet plainer terms than the great common denominator. There is but one thing needful, and there's no use being careful and troubled about many things. That one thing is, do right. To do right and not wrong will save any person's soul. And if he or she believes any doctrine that implies doing wrong, they are lost. Therefore, let each and every one of you resolve to keep as your purpose that no matter what comes, no matter how mixed your feelings or theology may be, no matter what may be the rewards of wrongdoing or the perils and losses of doing right, you will do right. What if you've done wrong? The best and only way to fix it is to quit doing wrong and begin doing right. If any of you will stick to this, make it your anchor in times of storm, your North Star in nights of uncertainty, you will cast out of your life that which is life's greatest enemy, and that's fear. You need not fear man, nor woman, nor governments, nor troublemakers, nor the devil, nor God. You will be able to say with all sincerity the words of the poet William Ernest Henley: out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. In closing, I want to say to you, stay strong. Each and every one of you have a bright future, brilliant future. Go forth and do great things by doing what is right, for you are the captain of your soul. Thank you.
Okay, time for the fun part. The Bronc Bowl ceremony is a time-honored military tradition. When comrades in the Armory come together, whether to celebrate their exploits, recognize their heroic deeds, or pay tribute to their fallen comrades, an earthy brew of limited medicinal value is concocted. It is common in the world of leadership that the wicked mixture of incompatible ingredients is blended together. A mixture of this nature will cure what ails you or drop your souls to the floor. So tonight we gather as comrades. We continue the tradition as we mix the cadet punch. A ceremonial mixing of ingredients brings together the past, present, and future cadets of the Yellow Jacket Battalion. Starting off, the battalion commander will start the mixture with root beer because the caffeine is the only thing that got everyone through the early morning. Next, S1 will add tea for all the... The S1 will now add tea for all the tea that has been spread throughout the year. The S2 will now add gummy bear infused Sprite to represent brains going to jelly. The S3 will add ice for all the people that need to chill out in the battalion.
Everybody just chill. Just chill, it'll be good.
The S4 will add coffee to represent all the extra doses of energy we needed to stay awake during the long briefs and lectures throughout the year. The S5 will add pickle juice to represent the sweat and tears shed throughout the year. The executive officer will add Tabasco sauce to symbolize her hot-headedness in JROTC. The Alpha Company commander will add lemon juice for all the sour attitudes throughout the battalion. Coke Company commander will now add Dr. Pepper for all the bubbly energy in the battalion. The Charlie Company commander will now add a pinch of salt for the mass amount of saltiness from the past 3 years. The battalion command sergeant major will add fruit punch body armor to represent all the fruitful experiences with the battalion. Now, at this time, by tradition, the most junior officer will now come and test the punch from the grog bottle to determine its sustainability for consumption. I pronounce this grog is fit to be consumed by all Yellow Jackets. The grog bowl will be opened after the retiring of the colors.
If anybody who's in the saber yard has not gone to the back already, you should be over there. Thank you. Royalty, please see your way to the back of the room.
Excuse me, do you serve coffee?